Begin this new week and consider the new major objectives for Orange County, which includes the distribution of PPE, expanded testing sites, and the reopening of businesses here in Orange County, and much more. Mayor Demings will discuss this, as well as the work on the Consumer Confidence Survey. Mayor Buddy Dyer is here from the city of Orlando, of course, to talk about the COVID-19 response in the city and how the city is moving forward with gyms, restaurants, and its increased safety measures. Dr. Raul Pino from the Florida Department of Health in Orange County has information on testing sites and the latest coronavirus statistics. The Honorable Don Myers, Chief Judge of the Ninth Judicial Circuit, has very important information on our courts and court proceedings. And last but certainly not least, we have a celebration today. Sonia Hill from Orange County Government Head Start, a department that we love very much, near and dear to us, will share a milestone. But first, we begin with Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings and the recognition of some of our first responders. Mayor?
All right. Good afternoon to all of you. Welcome. Talking about milestones. Since we have been under a state of emergency and working directly in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, today marks the 72nd day that we have been working to fight this virus within our community. 72 days. And also, I would let you know that just exactly 2 weeks from today, hurricane season begins. And since we had a little bit of a weather phenomenon going on, we are in the midst of getting prepared for that as well. But let me start the news conference this afternoon by recognizing this week as National EMS Week across the country. And so we have some of our first responders who I've asked to come forward today who have been involved in various life-saving efforts on the front line here within our community. Please join me in welcoming, as I call them up, engineer, paramedic, Herbie Palin, who's been with the Orange County Fire Rescue Department for 8 years now and works out of Fire Station number 67. Come on up. I'm going to call all of them up here one by one. Firefighter paramedic Maria Diaconou, 12 years with Orange County Fire Rescue, and she works from Fire Station number 70. And firefighter Franz Joachim, 15 years with Orange County Fire Rescue and is working from Fire Station number 40. And firefighter Megan Powers, who joined the Orange County Fire Rescue Department just last year. And she works out of Fire Station number 53. Also with us is the Orange County Medical Director, Dr. Christian Zuver, who is in charge of setting the EMS protocols for the entire county, inclusive of the cities. And so join me, Mayor Dyer and all of us, in giving this group a round of applause for that effort. Well, we're proud of the work that they do. I have a son that's a battalion chief in the Orange County Fire Rescue Department, and he gets to work with you all on a day-to-day basis. So thank you for your service, and with that, we will move forward on our agenda this afternoon. Okay. All right. Thank you. What I've been doing each week is, as we start the week, I kind of tell you what our goals are for that week, what we hope to accomplish. And this is another week where we have lofty goals, but our goal is to continue distributing personal protective equipment to our small businesses here within the community. As you all know, we distributed last week nearly 1.75 million face masks and nearly 200,000 bottles of hand sanitizer. We're going to continue that effort this week. We will be utilizing Orange County Fire Rescue Departments and other fire departments, inclusive of the municipal fire departments, to distribute the PPE to vulnerable residents. So I'm going to come back to that in a moment and explain just how we're going to be doing that in partnership with our cities. The third goal is to expand testing to additional Orange County residents. And fourth is to provide clarity from the Economic Recovery Task Force on reopening Orange County's smaller attractions. Those are our goals for this week. For small business owners who may have missed it, our personal protective equipment giveaway will continue this week. However, appointments are necessary. We will hand out face masks and hand sanitizer beginning tomorrow and Wednesday at 3 Points Elementary School and the Orange Technical College's Mid-Florida campus from 9:30 a.m. until about 4:30 p.m. In fact, this has been going so well, the appointments for Tuesday are already taken up. So you will have to go on our website to make appointments for Wednesday. And you can do so if you are a business of 1 to 40 employees. And you can go to our ocfl.net/PPE website in order to sign up. In addition, Orange County is starting this, what we call a Leave Behind program. Let me just explain what that is. We have partnered with the various fire departments. When they respond to calls for service, they will leave behind at those homes and other places for the individuals they come in contact with, PPE and hand sanitizer. So we do appreciate the partnership with the municipalities. Mayor Dyer of the City of Orlando Fire Department is participating in that effort with us, so our firefighters will be assisting in that process. Also, as we talk about where are we today with the virus in this community, we now have some reported 1,679 different cases of the coronavirus here within our community, 1,679, which is an increase of 24 from yesterday. 38 people have now died from the virus since the last time we were providing an update. We have 2 additional deaths, and Dr. Pino will give you the details that he can about that. So to those families, our prayers go out to them. But we have tested now nearly 50,000 individuals with a positivity rate of 3.4% in Orange County. Orange County Health Services has many open appointments at the Riverside Elementary School for testing, which again is a free testing site that will operate from tomorrow, May the 19th through May 21st. There will also be testing at the Mid-Florida Tech beginning on Tuesday, May 26th. You do not have to have symptoms to be tested. You just simply have to be an Orange County resident at those particular sites and be 18 or older. In addition, anyone who gets tested at Riverside or Mid-Florida Tech, they will get a free packet of face masks and hand sanitizer as well. So we're endeavoring to put more hand sanitizer and masks in the hands of individuals within our community. And let me talk briefly about a virtual town hall that we will be hosting on Wednesday, here in the spirit of really trying to reach out to all segments of our community so that no segment, no ethnicity, no demographic gets left behind. We kicked off something a few months ago, and we call it the Orange County MLK Initiative. And the town hall will be entitled Resilience, Recovery, and Rejuvenation in Unity. It will be this Wednesday beginning at 6 p.m. This is a 1-hour session that will feature coping mechanisms and other resources that will assist residents with transitioning into what we are calling the new normal. So for more information, you can go to ocfl.net/MLK for more details and to watch it live. This, again, is a citizen-based initiative that we're doing within our community. One of the recommendations to come out of the Economic Recovery Task Force was a consumer confidence survey. It has been a resounding success so far. Over 10,000 surveys have been completed about how people feel about re-engaging in the community during this pandemic. We will use those survey results to assist us in making decisions going forward about how we reopen Orange County and what that looks like. We are getting input directly from the residents of Orange County. So again, we encourage you to go to our website at the ocfl.net/survey, consumer survey, and we will love to have your input with that. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mayor Buddy Dyer of the City of Orlando.
Thank you, Mayor Demings. Together with our partners, the City of Orlando is continuing to make COVID testing more accessible for our residents. Testing is key to reducing the spread of the virus and is critical to keeping us on a responsible path to recovery. So I want to remind everyone again about testing sites in the City of Orlando. They're rotating through our neighborhoods. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., our Northwest Neighborhood Center site opens tomorrow, Tuesday, May 19th, for one-day testing. Additionally, today we are starting to accept appointments for 2 additional mobile testing sites at North Lake Park Community School on Thursday, May 21st, and the Dr. James R. Smith Neighborhood Center on Tuesday, May 26th. There's no symptomatic criteria for the test. All you need is an Orlando or Orange County ID and to be 18 years of old to sign up. Orlando.gov/COVID-19 testing. Testing at our sites is being managed by the Orlando Fire Department with the support of the Orlando Police Department and our city staff. I'm so grateful for their efforts to help residents get tested right in their neighborhoods, regardless of whether they come by car, whether they walk in, or whether they bike in. Our community continues to take gradual steps forward, and I remain proud to be both mayor and a resident of Orlando. The virus has tested our patience and asked much from all of us, but we're continuing to respond with compassion and concern and with kindness, and that includes our business community. Today, our state moved into full phase 1 reopening with gyms opening their doors and restaurants and retail shops allowed to increase their capacities. Prior to the statewide announcement, we had heard from the owners of many local fitness facilities. Of course, they are ready to open, but they were ready to open responsibly and explain the steps they were taking to change their operations to ensure safety. Just like local restaurant and retail owners took precautions to protect the health and well-being of their employees and their customers. I thank our business community for being active participants in the efforts to reduce the spread of the virus and putting public health as a requisite for economic health. As more businesses open today and others adapt to serve more customers, we must still remember that our individual and collective efforts to fight COVID are not done yet. It's not a return to business as usual. Instead, it must be a continued commitment to responsible actions by our residents and our business owners. Together, we can support the recovery of our economy. We must and we can ensure that we are taking the steps to protect health and the well-being of us all. With that, I'm happy to call up Dr. Pino.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon. As the Mayor have mentioned before, Mayor Demings, that is, we have 1,679 positive cases. Our accumulative percentage positive for percentage rate, is 3.4 as of today. Last time that we talked to you was 3.9. Our recovery rate is about 87% today, and we have unfortunately added 2 individuals to the list of people who has passed through, due to the COVID-19. 2 individuals. Our prayers and thoughts with their families: a 63-year-old female, Black, not Hispanic. We know that she was exposed to a positive case and has pre-existing condition, was in the hospital for 4 days. And a 71-year-old male, Hispanic, we don't know yet the exposure, pre-existing condition, was in the hospital, hospitalized for 1 day. They both died on May 15. In our 4th round of testing, we continue, and today, we will be in Barnett Park. Tomorrow, we are on Coy High School. Wednesday, we will be in Camping World. And Thursday, will be Cypress Creek High School. Our numbers, the people are getting tested has decreased. So we also would like to open this appointment to the surrounding counties in the regional area, that any residents of our neighbors counties that would like to get testing and if they decide they could, and there will be made appointment available for them. And the number to call is 407-723-5004. And we have plenty of opportunity there for be tested. Last week, the results on Thursday, we tested 234 individuals, only 5 new positive for a 2.1% positivity rate that day in that location. On Friday the 15th, Perry Elementary School, we did 181 tests, 3 positive. We knew that 1 was previously tested, so that was discarded from the count, and we have 2 new positive there for a percentage of 1.7. We want to encourage our residents to take advantage of the vaccination that is taking place into our sites for students that are going into 7th grade and they may need an updated vaccine. Please call 407-723-5004, press 2, and if they are, people will be able to give you an appointment so your child can get tested. And I visited one of the sites today and saw volume, so people are taking advantage of these. Please have your child ready to start school when we open, hopefully in the fall. And with that, I will answer any questions that you may have later, but now I'm passing it down to Chief Justice Mayers. Mike.
Thank you and good afternoon. The court continues to be committed to the health and safety of all of our court users and court staff. I think it's important to distinguish between the work that's being done here in the county and in the city in the way of reopening businesses and the things that are happening at the courthouse. At the courthouse, we are subject not to the executive orders of the governor, but instead to the administrative orders of the Florida Supreme Court. We anticipate this week that the Florida Supreme Court will give us an additional order with guidance on reestablishing or reopening access to the court buildings. I use that word reopening, but I'm always cautious because we've been open. There's been a lot of business going on. Thousands and thousands of hearings have been held over the course of the last 2 months while we've been in this pandemic. We continue to conduct essential and critical proceedings, such as first appearances and juvenile delinquency hearings that are held in person or by remote means at the courthouse. And there are many, many non-essential proceedings that are also proceeding by utilizing remote methods of video conferencing or teleconferencing. If you are a participant in a court case, you will receive notice of a hearing that has been reset in your case, and that may include an opportunity to appear by remote means. And of course, court users are continued to be able to file their pleadings through the e-portal on the state's website. You heard last Friday that the governor extended the suspension of the statutes related to mortgage foreclosure and evictions. Today, I had entered an administrative order directing our clerk not to take any action with respect to those cases. So there are no proceedings that are moving forward with respect to residential evictions or mortgage foreclosure cases. All pending mortgage foreclosure sales have been canceled, and any actions related to residential eviction causes of action are also suspended. It is to be clear that this suspension of activity in those cases does not relieve a borrower or a tenant from making payments under the terms of their lease or their mortgage. You must continue to do those things. As a reminder, all grand jury and jury proceedings are now suspended through July the 6th. That is the earliest date that we would resume. If you have received a summons, you are excused from appearing at the courthouse until July the 6th. If you have received that summons, you are excused from your service. I'll be providing some follow-up information, particularly on jury service protocols, once we resume sending notices for jurors to appear at the courthouse. This time, where there are not any notices that are being distributed, and you shouldn't be receiving those. Just encourage you to continue to check out the COVID-19 page on our website at 9thcircuit.org or follow us on Twitter or Facebook for further information for the courts. It's my pleasure at this point to turn it over to Sonia Hill, the manager for Head Start.
Good afternoon. Today we celebrate a major milestone. 55 years ago, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed legislation for Project Head Start, which began as an 8-week summer program to help economically disadvantaged children be prepared for kindergarten. As of today, nationally, Head Start has served 37 million children and families. Here in Orange County, we are in the middle of the Head Start open enrollment period. As a Head Start graduate myself, I encourage parents with children 3 or 4 years old that are interested in a high-quality, comprehensive educational program to call, which includes preventative health screenings and parent services, to call 407-836-6590 or visit our website at www.ocfl.net/Head Start to complete an application. The Head Start program embraces the entire family and creates self-reliant citizens and communities. Today, I would like to highlight 2 members of our management team. Ms. Colette Thomas, who started as a parent volunteer over 25 years ago and is now a program manager, earning her AA, BS, and master's degree since her involvement with Head Start. Also, Ms. Lamaris Rivera, she was hired over 28 years ago as one of the first bilingual teachers in Orange County Head Start. Today, she serves as a curriculum specialist and has helped elevate Orange County Head Start to a strong dual language learning environment. I proudly serve as a Head Start director and a direct product of Orange County Head Start program. Happy 55th birthday, Head Start, and thank you for having me, Mayor Demis.
We are proud of our Head Start program here, and I've had the privilege to visit our different locations and read to our children and do other things. So thank you to our team for what you do every day to take care of the children. With that, we're going to move to any questions that you may have. Any questions?
I haven't seen what they are proposing. I will have to see that first. All depends on, where we are when we get there, pandemic time speaking. It could be totally different than where we are today either way. So whatever plan we may have or any institution may have, what we caution is flexibility, build flexibility into the plan.
Lauren Seabrook, Channel 9. Dr. Pino, this is for you again. You talked today to task force members about the uptick that we've seen over the last week in our cases. For the last 7 days, we've had double-digit increases. In the previous week, it was all single-digit. I know you said your team is going to be investigating because those numbers could maybe be old. Mm-hmm. What has your team found on that, and how do you weigh it with the positivity rate looking good and the hospitalizations being down?
So maybe we can put that page up. There were some issues with the data during the weekend. It became evident that, on Saturday, the 16th, we got 6,000 cases negative reported to the state system. So we never had that number of tests done in a day. So that was the first sign. So we continue to investigate, but this is where we are. I asked my EPI team at home, at work, is to, instead of, this data is the day that the lab result is reported to us. So in that sense, my concern was, are we getting all cases? Are we getting all data that may be skewing our decision-making process and showing a higher number of cases that really are? And why that is important? Because that could be a measure of how effective the opening and the measures that we have in place are working on that. So with that, the team went back up to May 3rd, because May 3rd was the last day that we have a single digit. And since then, they did an analysis based on the day that the test was performed. We have that data, so we went into the system and clean everything up and say, on the day that was performed, the test, give me the analysis. And since May 3rd to May 16th, which is the last day that we were able to do that analysis at the time, the positivity rate has always been below 4.40. The only day that was above that was the 16th, but the 16th that was 6.1. Now, that day was a Sunday. There were only 81 tests performed that day, and that has been reported so far. And 5 of those were positive. So I have to look into other weekends to see that the low number of tests may be related to the fact that the community sites, most of them are closed during the weekend time. So you get few cases tested, but are acute cases that are symptomatic. So in those cases, in that setting, you are more likely to find positive cases when you test asymptomatic people. So that's where we are so far. We understand also that some of the data dumped, and dump in that case is not a bad word, it's just that when the data is released to us, seems to come all from one lab. So we are going to check if some of the labs, we have what is called electronic lab reporting, all the data, but as many labs as come into the COVID scenario, not all of them were ready to do electronic reporting. And in some cases, that reporting was done by fax or Excel sheets, and some of them are coming into doing electronic reporting. So we think that that could be the case, but we are working with that lab to determine that. But the reality is, on that Sunday, there were not 6,000 tests done. There were 6,000 tests released to us. On some of them, they are older tests, yes. But that's a long answer for your question. What was that? We are, so I'm less concerned than I was this morning because the curve indicates that we are going up again. But the curve is based on the day that the lab was reported to us. And we also do another one based on the day that the individual report the first symptom. I think I explained that to you before. But we only know that when we interview the individuals. So the new cases are not already interviewed. So that one is good to look at last week. But these data, I also asked for a new curve to be done based on the day that the test was performed. I don't have that one yet. I have the bars. I can show you everything I have here or share the email with you. But the bars are not that bad. The only day that we have a significant number of cases was on May 11th, where we received 2,346 tests were performed that day. And that day we received 49 positive. We found 49 positive cases. So that was the highest day in that span. But I'm less concerned than I was this morning after seeing the re-cleaning and reanalysis of the data. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Buenas tardes, Félix Pirela de Telemundo. Doctor Pino, una explicación para nuestra audiencia hispana sobre el comportamiento de la pandemia, los números en los últimos 7 días. Vemos que había una especie de sub y baja o montaña rusa, algunos casos, unos días más que otros. ¿Ha incidido estos números la exposición de más personas en las calles con la reapertura de más negocios?
Es parte de la respuesta que di en inglés. So it's part of the same answer that I gave in English. So I'm not going to repeat in English after your question. Sí, es normal ver casos, tú sabes, en este tipo de pandemia, mirar los casos día por día no es muy, no tiene mucho uso, porque puede variar mucho y depende del número de pruebas que se han hecho en ese día, quién se hizo la prueba. Nos gusta mirar más a la semana completa. Inicialmente hemos visto que ha habido un incremento del número de casos que se nos reportan. Y la audiencia, para que la audiencia entienda, estas bases de datos son complicadas y tienen diferentes tipos de análisis. El análisis que nosotros presentamos aquí está basado en el día que el resultado del laboratorio se nos reporta. Y basado en eso estábamos recibiendo resultados algunas veces que eran 3 o 4 días viejos, en el sentido que la prueba se hizo casi una semana. Algunos de los laboratorios tuvieron dificultades en mandarnos esa información electrónicamente y ya algunos de esos problemas se han resuelto y entonces están reportando. Por eso, al parecer, artificialmente, el número de casos parece más alto de lo que fue la semana pasada. Esta mañana, cuando nosotros estábamos viendo la base de datos y durante el fin de semana, tuvimos algún nivel de preocupación de que algo estaba pasando. Pero yo pedí a los epidemiólogos del departamento que nos hicieran un análisis nuevo y los datos no son tan preocupantes. No puedo decir que haya habido un incremento significativo en el número de casos. Ha habido un incremento, pero nosotros siempre hemos dicho que con el inicio de la actividad económica deberíamos esperar ver algún nivel de incremento del número de casos. Pero hasta ahora no es tan significativo y no nos preocupa hasta ahora. Habría que ver cómo se comportan las cosas en lo adelante. Gracias.
Peoples with the Florida Sun. On Saturday, Advent Health made a statement that 25,000 COVID tests were unreliable. Are you concerned that there may be a vast undercount of the virus in the city and county? If not, why? If so, what measures are put in place to get new accurate tests to do a recount?
Earlier today, we had Dr. Pino and I participated in a conference call with Advent Health. And the situation with Advent Health is related to a vendor that they had contracted with to do the verification of the collection of tests that have been taken. Those specific to Orange County is about 8,100 of the 25,000 because Advent Health serves a 7-county region, but out of the 25,000, about 8,100 of them were Orange County residents. And so what they have done, depending upon whether the individuals tested positive or tested negative, they've offered the opportunity for them to be retested. Now, out of the 8,100, I believe about 3,600 of the cases, the individuals never received the results. So we're going to work with them. You know, my main concern as the Orange County mayor is that Orange County residents have access to being tested if they want to be tested, and that they have accurate results. So we're going to work with the Orange County Health Services Department as well as the Orange County Health Department to use the full breadth of our various testing sites to be able to retest those individuals. Now, Advent Health is communicating with all of those individuals that they have the data and the information on, and some of them may be able to be retested at the Advent Health's central care facilities, and then some will be able to be retested at our various facilities here within Orange County. So it's an unfortunate thing that occurred in that case. Are we concerned that the numbers may skew the data one way or the other? It's not likely given everything that I've heard, but again, my main concern is I want individuals, our residents, to feel confident that they have the opportunity to be tested and get accurate results, and that's what we're going to do.
Mayor, this question comes to you from Scott Powers. He says, Governor DeSantis today said he wants to see theme parks submit reopening plans and have them endorsed by local officials. What can you tell me about what Orange County is doing for this.
Okay, our Economic Recovery Task Force is continuing to meet, and today some of the smaller attractions verbally presented their plan of action. They sounded fairly robust to me, but we are asking them to submit those plans in writing to us, and at the full task force meeting later this week, we will review those plans, and at some point I will make a decision about whether they meet the standards that are being recommended, not just by the Economic Recovery Task Force here, but my standards, and then we will make recommendations accordingly to the governor, consistent with the process that the governor laid out.
This next one's from Michael Salerno from the Villages Media. What is the short-term expectation for tourism activity in Orange County? Do you expect people will visit because of pent-up demand for attractions, or do you expect slower activity because of the current health and economic condition?
Given the fact that we now have 10,000 approximately survey results, what I do know, for our residents to feel safe, to re-engage and to patronize businesses, they want to see an abundance of sanitary measures put in place. They want to see masks. They want to see a number of things in order to re-engage. So we are trying to gauge that consumer confidence, and I believe that given the totality of what I've heard from the different attractions at this point, they should be able to meet that high bar standard that our residents are looking for, and ultimately will become their patrons. So we just want to go through an affirmation process that will be in place, and it'll be consistent with the CDC guidelines that have been established.
This last one comes from Lara Greenberg with Fox 35. She's doing a story about a road rave drive-in musical festival that's been announced for June at the Central Florida Fairgrounds. She wants to know what you think of this and why it might be good for our area. And part two is what will be done to ensure that people stay in their cars or continue to follow social distancing and safety guidelines.
I don't have any information about that event. Mayor Dyer, do you have any information about the event that she's referencing at the fairgrounds?
No, I'm aware of it, but don't have any specifics that fairgrounds are in the city limits, so we'll be taking a look at that.
Okay. If there are no further questions, thank you all for being here. We're going to just take a pause for technical change, and then we'll transition to a Spanish briefing. And we can ask our colleagues to come forward. Ms. Ilia Torres will come forward. I want to start this. Welcome to our press briefing for May the 18th. We will really look to a lengthy period of time now that we have been responding to the pandemic here within our community. This is the 72nd day that we have been under a state of emergency responding to the crisis.
Bienvenidos a nuestra conferencia de prensa, mayo 18 del 2020. Este es el día número 72 de la activación de emergencia ante la pandemia causada por el COVID.
So we have a lot to cover today. I do want to recognize that today is this week is National EMS Week, and earlier we recognized several of our EMS, firefighter, paramedics.
Tenemos mucho que cubrir, pero antes que eso quisiera destacar que durante esta semana se celebra la Semana Nacional de los Servicios Médicos de Emergencia.
Each week what we try to do is give you the goals for the week as we fight the pandemic in our community. And this week our goal is to distribute PPE to small businesses.
Al comienzo de cada semana nos gusta identificar los objetivos para la semana en curso. Para esta semana en particular, el primer objetivo es distribuir equipo de protección personal a las pequeñas empresas.
We will also be using the collective fire departments, Orange County's Fire Rescue Department, as well as those within the municipalities to distribute PPE to individuals and vulnerable residents. I'll talk more about that momentarily.
La segunda meta sería utilizar el cuerpo de bomberos del condado y de las municipalidades para distribuir equipo de protección personal a aquellos residentes más vulnerables en nuestro condado.
We will be expanding testing within Orange County this week. We have multiple sites that will be operational.
Expandir la disponibilidad de las pruebas a los residentes del condado sería nuestra tercera prioridad y vamos a tener varios centros durante el transcurso de la semana.
And we will be working with our Economic Recovery Task Force on finalizing plans for reopening Orange County's smaller attractions.
Y por último, trabajar con el Grupo de Recuperación Económica del Condado para finalizar los detalles de la reapertura de las atracciones más pequeñas.
So let me talk now about the distribution of the PPE. We will continue to distribute PPE beginning tomorrow and Wednesday. On Tuesday and Wednesday, we will be at the 3 Points Elementary School and the Orange Technical College campus from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
Hablando un poco sobre la distribución del equipo de protección personal, estaremos haciendo entrega de equipo de protección personal el martes y el miércoles en la Escuela Elemental 3 Points, así como también en el campus de Florida Central de Orange Technical College en horario de 9 de la mañana a 4:30 de la tarde.
The distribution of PPE has been going very well. We have now distributed nearly 1.75 million masks and nearly 200,000 bottles of hand sanitizer to small businesses of 1 to 40 individuals, and our goal is to certainly reach at least 2 million distributions of face masks within our community by the end of this week.
La entrega de equipo de protección personal ha sido un éxito. Hemos distribuido sobre 1.75 millones de mascarillas y 200,000 botellas de desinfectante de manos. Esperamos que al finalizar la semana haber hecho entrega de al menos 2 millones de mascarillas o cubiertas faciales.
And we're unveiling a program that we're calling the Leave Behind program that our fire departments will assist us with.
En la tarde de hoy anunciamos un programa que le hemos llamado el programa de dejar atrás, que será llevado a cabo por nuestro cuerpo de bomberos.
When they respond to calls, they will leave behind face masks and hand sanitizers with the individuals who they will come in contact with.
Cuando el cuerpo de bomberos se persone a los incidentes, harán entrega a los residentes de mascarillas y desinfectante de manos para aquellos que tienen la necesidad.
Orange County's new cases continue to increase, but at a relatively small number. We now have 1,679 positive cases of the coronavirus within our community.
Los casos de COVID-19 en el condado de Orange Orange continúan incrementando, pero de forma pequeña. En este caso tenemos 1,679 casos de coronavirus en el condado.
Within the last few weeks, over the weekend, we had 2 additional individuals who died as a result of the virus. So it's still a very, very active and deadly virus.
En el transcurso del fin de semana, 2 personas fallecieron a causa de esta enfermedad y obviamente sigue estando ese virus activo en nuestra comunidad y siendo mortal para nuestros residentes.
Dr. Pino from the Department of Health will share with you additional details about the additional deaths in just a few moments.
El doctor Pino del Departamento de Salud compartirá con ustedes detalles adicionales sobre los números y estas muertes.
We have tested nearly 50,000 different individuals with a positivity rate in our community of 3.4%, which is very, very low. Perhaps out of the large urban counties in Florida, that is the lowest of all of the urban counties.
Hemos realizado cerca de 50,000 pruebas de detección de COVID para una tasa de positividad de 3.4%. Esto sigue representando un nivel bajo, quizás el más bajo dentro de los condados urbanos aquí en el estado.
And this week, Orange County Health Services will be doing tests at Riverside Elementary, and that will begin tomorrow and run through Thursday, May the 21st.
El Departamento de Servicios de Salud del Condado de Orange estará ofreciendo pruebas en la Escuela Elemental Riverside esta semana a partir de mañana, 19 de mayo, hasta el 21 de mayo.
And we will also be testing beginning tomorrow at the Mid-Florida Tech campus.
También a partir de mañana ofreceremos pruebas en Mid-Florida Tech Campus a partir, como indicamos, del 26 de mayo, mañana.
Those who are tested at Riverside or Mid-Florida Tech will receive a free packet of masks and hand sanitizer.
Aquellos que se personan a realizarse las pruebas en la escuela Riverside o en Mid-Florida Tech recibirán un conjunto de equipo de protección personal que consiste en mascarillas y desinfectante de manos.
And in the spirit of Dr. King and the Orange County MLK initiative, we are looking to persevere through adversity, and we'll be hosting a town hall meeting this week.
En el espíritu de la misión del Dr. Martin Luther King de perseverancia en la adversidad, la iniciativa MLK del Condado de Orange invita a los residentes a participar de una asamblea virtual esta semana.
The town hall will be entitled Resilience, Recovery, and Rejuvenation in Unity. And it is aimed at making certain that we touch every demographic within our community. It will be 6 p.m., May 20th, for 1 hour.
El título de la asamblea es Resiliencia, Recuperación y Rejuvenecimiento en Unidad. La asamblea se llevará a cabo el miércoles 20 de mayo a las 6 p.m. y tiene la intención de tocar toda la demografía de nuestro condado.
Okay, and this 1 hour session will feature coping mechanisms and other resources that will assist residents with transitioning into what we're calling our new normal.
Esta sesión de 1 hora de duración incluirá mecanismos de manejo y otros recursos para ayudar a nuestros residentes a transicionar a este nuevo normal en nuestras vidas.
And we remind you that we are asking you to complete the consumer survey at our website at ocfl.net/consumer survey. We now have over 10,000 individuals who have provided feedback to us.
Queremos recordarle a los residentes que por favor completen la encuesta sobre confianza del consumidor. La encuesta está disponible en la página web ocfl.net/consumer survey. Hasta la fecha hemos recibido sobre 10,000 respuestas de nuestros residentes.
We will use the survey results to assist us in making decisions about how we reopen Orange County.
Utilizaremos el resultado de esta encuesta para tomar decisiones futuras sobre la reapertura de los negocios en el condado de Orange.
And with that, I'm going to ask Dr. Pino to come forward and give you a health update regarding the pandemic. Dr. Pino.
Thank you, sir. Buenas tardes, mi gente. Casi buenas noches, son las 5. Como el alcalde dijo, tenemos 1.679 casos. Tenemos un % de positividad acumulativo del 3.4 y la última vez que conversamos con ustedes el viernes estaba en 3.9. El 87% de las personas que han sido positivos con el virus se han recuperado y desafortunadamente tuvimos 2 fallecimientos el día 15, eso fue viernes. Una persona femenina de 63 años, de la raza negra, no latino, estuvo hospitalizada por 4 días y tenía condiciones persistentes. Y una persona masculino, latino, de 71 años, que también tenía condiciones persistentes y estuvo hospitalizado solamente un día. Nuestras oraciones con las familias que perdieron sus miembros queridos, ¿no? La semana pasada fue la cuarta semana, esta semana es la 4ª semana que estamos haciendo pruebas. Les recordamos, por favor, que reserven y también le estamos pidiendo a las personas de los condados que nos rodean que si quieren hacerse la prueba en cualquiera de nuestros sitios, serán bienvenidos. Llamen al teléfono 407-723-504 para hacer una cita. Hoy estuvimos en Barnett Park, mañana estamos en Ocoee High School, el miércoles estaremos aquí en Downtown Camping World y el jueves estaremos en Cypress Creek High School. Tenemos muchísimas citas todavía disponibles, por favor vengan y háganse la prueba. La semana pasada, el jueves, hicimos 234 pruebas, solamente 5 positivas para el 2.1 en ese sitio, en ese momento. Y el día 15 que estuvimos en Prairie Elementary School, hicimos 181 pruebas con 2 nuevos positivos para 1.7. También queremos recordarles que estamos haciendo una campaña para inmunizar a todos los niños y niñas que van del grado 6 al grado 7. Llamen al teléfono 407-723-5005, presionan el número 2 y le van a dar una cita para uno de los 2 lugares. Tenemos 11,000 niños, muchos de ellos latinos, que tienen que entrar en el 7º grado, que no tienen las vacunas actualizadas, y esta es la oportunidad. Por favor, no esperen al último momento, que cuando llegue agosto las cosas siempre se complican con las vacaciones, el apuro y comprar los útiles de la escuela y la ropa, y la vacunación se va a poner un poquito difícil. Entonces, por favor, tomen ventaja de lo que estamos haciendo y hagan una cita. Gracias. ¿Cualquier pregunta para responderle, alcalde?
Okay, are there any questions that remain? Okay, no questions. Well, muchas gracias. Hasta mañana.